I think that I should tell it like it is. And we say, tell it like it is if you really like it is. But if there are parts of what is that you don't like, then you've got to start telling a different story. You must speak it and think it until you feel it the way you want it to be. I need more money. And we say, what would that feel like? Try to imagine what it would feel like. If you can only report in on what is, then nothing can change in your experience, because what you're offering vibrationally is what is coming back to you, because the law of attraction is answering your vibration precisely. So if you feel deprived of money, you must maintain that position, because the manifestation that you are living is the indication of your vibration. So if you want a different indication, if you have an indication of vibration of no money in your checking account, and you would like a different indication in your checking account, you've got to offer a different vibration. So then our friends say, my body hurts, I have arthritis, and you want me to do what? How can I feel happy when I'm hurting so? And we say, well, the way you are feeling in your body is an indication of your vibration. Everything that you're manifesting is an indication of vibration. So here you've got this indication, but you can have a feeling of hope while your body is hurting, or a feeling of fear while your body is hurting. And we want you to know that if you can achieve a feeling of hope and maintain it for a little while, recovery must come. While if you keep having a feeling of fear, then recovery can't come. Everything that you are living is about this vibrational gap between who you've become and who you are letting yourself be. We also want you to know, oh, and this is so important to know, and good for you to know, and reassuring to know, and comforting to know once you get your thoughts wrapped around it. If life hadn't caused you to be this, you wouldn't feel bad that you're not being it. Isn't that worth thinking about? If I hadn't been born into an environment that caused me to become something that I'm not letting myself become, I wouldn't feel the discord of not becoming it. Can you hear that? In other words, if somebody called you on the telephone and said, hello, you don't know me, I'm just calling to tell you I will never call you again, you would say, all righty then. Because life hadn't caused you to want them to call. So the fact that they're not calling, there would be no gap. You don't want them to call, they're not calling, everything's hunky-dory. But when life has caused you to want something and you're not going in the direction of what life has caused you to become, then you don't feel good. And we really want to emphasize that you don't even have to go there and be it completely. You just have to be moving in the direction of it in order to feel the relief of closing the gap. There's always relief when you're closing the gap, and there's always struggle and strain when you're widening the gap. Just stop justifying, just stop defending, just stop trying to defend your position of not having what you want. Let go of the struggle. You allow yourself to become the expanding being that life insists that you must become. You can't hold back from your expansion. You cannot become less. Do you know that? You can't have an experience which causes you to expand and then deny that expansion. The source within you will not deny that expansion. And do you know why you can't deny it? Because law of attraction is responding to the vibrational basis of all that is. You have the ability to benefit from your asking right here, right now, if when you ask, you could stop resisting. And that's the tricky part. In other words, so here you are experiencing contrast of a body that feels sick, and in that sickness you are asking for wellness in a stronger way than you ever have before. And in the moment that you ask for wellness, when you ask, it is given, and the vibrational part of you that is the larger part of you becomes weller than it has ever been because of this new experience that you just provided. And if you could release the resistance that is keeping you from that wellness, you would be well so fast doctors' heads would spin. In fact, you'd be well so fast, they would proclaim, I must have misdiagnosed you to begin with. Because my logic, my medical scientific background logic tells me that you can't go from sickness to wellness, not with a disease that big, bad, and ugly, in that short a period of time. And we say, they don't know. They don't know about the releasing of resistance. They don't know about the power of your asking. They don't really know that in your sickness you ask for wellness in a stronger way than ever before. And they don't know that you laid in your bed last night and dropped the oars on subject after subject after subject that's been bothering you. You see, so many people who are sick think that they have to stop thinking negatively about sickness in order to be well. It's not your thinking negatively about sickness that made you sick. It's part of what perpetuates it after you're sick. We acknowledge that once you have a manifestation, you do give your undivided attention to the manifestation. So once you're sick, it's easy to beat the drum of sickness and keep it going. But we want you to understand that it wasn't thinking about sickness that made you sick. It was about being unhappy at work. It was about complaining about this. It was about complaining about the government. It was about complaining about things where you can't do anything about it. You know, those things where you're trying to get somebody else to do something differently so that you can feel better, and they refuse to do something differently so that you can feel better because they don't think they were born to live your life for you. Have you noticed that nobody, hardly anybody, will do what you think you need them to do so that you can feel better? And the reason they don't do that is because they were all born to do what they need to do so that they can feel better. But most people have lost track of that. Most people have lost track of their guidance system. Most people cannot quantify the journey between sickness and wellness, between not enough money and plenty of money. You don't know which way you're going. You're upside down and all around. You start toward money and then you turn around and go back. You start toward money and then get disoriented in anger, and all the time. You do it all the time with things. You're well on your way to wellness because you found something that makes you feel hopeful, or you've thought some thought that isn't wrapped up in the vibration of illness. You've been distracted from something, and for a moment you're not offering any resistance, and you're well along the way. And then you go back for another blood test, or you look in the mirror, or you do something that causes you to take stock of what is, and then you do freak out and you turn around. And we say, when you finally get it, that you have this guidance within you that is telling you the vibrational difference between who life has caused you to become and who you're letting yourself be right here and now, when you understand that your emotions are all about this vibrational gap, the vibrational gap between you and you, when you get that, then you will know, as we know, that all you need to do is reach for the best feeling thought that you can find from where you are, and in doing so, you'll feel a little relief. The stream is always moving toward who you have become, and every bit of negative emotion that you feel is because you've got some idea in your head that you're offering on a pretty consistent basis, a chronic sort of belief or thought or conversation that you're having that is keeping you from going in the direction. But the call of source never stops calling. If it would, you'd feel better, but it won't, because you can't be less than life has caused you to become.